Fischer, it is an honor to have you with us today. Senator Fischer is an honorary member of the Agriculture Committee. I would tell the ranking member, and you know that, thank you for taking the time to introduce Mr. Ibach. You are recognized at this particular time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Stabenow, and to my colleagues here on this committee, I thank you for inviting me here today. I am honored to introduce my fellow Nebraskan and my good friend, Greg Ibach, the nominee to serve as Undersecretary of Agriculture for Marketing and Regulatory Programs. Greg is no stranger to agriculture. In the beef state, we are home to the nation's top cattle producers and best ag leaders. Some of you may remember our great friend, Nebraskan and former member of this committee, Senator Mike Johans. As a former secretary of USDA, he knew a thing or two about agriculture. When Senator Johans was governor of our state, he appointed Greg to serve as assistant director for the Nebraska Department of Agriculture. Senator Johans made an excellent choice because Greg went on to serve as Nebraska's Director of Agriculture, a position he's now held for the past 12 years. Every step of the way, Greg has demonstrated his dedication to the unsung heroes of the American dinner table, our farmers and ranchers. I'm also pleased to introduce Greg's wife, Teresa, and his daughter, Emily, who are with him here today, and I thank both of them for sharing Greg with the state of Nebraska over the years. I think everyone in this room today can agree our successes wouldn't be possible without the sacrifices of our loved ones, so I thank them. Growing up on his family's cow-calf and row crop operation outside of Sumner, Nebraska, laid a strong foundation for Greg to serve his fellow agriculture producers. He understands the unique challenges our farmers and ranchers face because he is completely immersed in this industry. As Nebraska's Director of Agriculture, Greg has worked tirelessly to promote common sense policies that allow producers to do what they do best, to feed the world. This includes opening foreign markets for Nebraska's high-quality agriculture products and hosting international trade groups at Nebraska ranches, feed yards, and food manufacturers. Under Greg's leadership, Nebraska gained market access in regions of the world that had previously been shut off to American producers. For example, Greg and I worked together to reopen the Israeli market to Nebraska beef for the first time in 13 years. Throughout this process, Greg demonstrated his unique capacity to work with many different stakeholders at the local, state, and national level to ensure that producers prospered. At the USDA, he will serve America's farmers and ranchers with the same knowledge, passion, and dedication. The last few years have been tough for agriculture. To continue being global leaders in food and fiber and fuel production, Nebraska's and America's producers need regulatory certainty. For too long, USDA has been encased in bureaucratic ambiguity. This does not garner confidence from those in rural America who earn their living off the land. But fortunately, under Secretary Perdue's leadership, that status quo is changing. As State Ag Director, Greg was charged with regulatory responsibilities in the areas of animal and plant health, weights and measures, as well as food safety and consumer protection. He has an uncanny ability to build relationships by communicating with regulators and also with producers. This is a needed skill for the next Undersecretary of Agriculture and Marketing and Regulatory Programs. And I am confident that Greg's experience leading the Nebraska Department of Agriculture, coupled with his real-world personal understanding of farm country, make him highly qualified to serve at the USDA. There is much at stake for agriculture in America right now. Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, I urge you and the committee to quickly approve Greg's nomination and bring it to the floor of the Senate so that we can vote on this confirmation. Secretary Perdue needs his team in place to better serve our farmers and ranchers so that they can do their job of feeding the world. And Greg's role, if he is confirmed, is critically important in executing this mission. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.